Hi guys, this is Colton from Wow Nation, and I'm taking you with me on my annual elk hunt. It's finally fall, and what that means to me is hunting season. We packed up our trailer and headed east from our home in Cody, Wyoming to the Bighorn Mountains. One thing that's amazing about Cody is that we only have to drive 2 hours to get to the Bighorns, going from 5,000 feet in elevation in Cody to 13,000 in the Bighorns. Between my dad and I, we have 2 general elk tags and 2 buck tags. Also accompanying us on the trip is my great uncle Jerry. Along with the hunting gear I packed up my cameras so I could bring you guys along. Sadly, most of my footage is a time-lapse, but I've done my best to make it as entertaining as possible. The majority of this video is filmed on my Hero 7 Black, my Hero, and with photos from my Canon Rebel and my Samsung Galaxy Camera 2. Now that we made it to our campground, it's time to unpack and settle in. Surrounding our camp was a plethora of squirrels, their recent killings, like these nuts, and also this group of deer with a decent-sized buck and a smaller one, but still very cool to see them so close to camp. The 14th was our day for scouting, and it was kind of tough given that the amount of snow we got overnight, so a lot of the bucks and elk were bedded down. We did stop a couple times to look and glass. Basically, glassing is when you stop and look at a space for a long time, going over it with your binoculars and your eyes, just to kind of see and make sure you don't miss anything. We finished the day off with a beautiful sunset and got ready for the opening season in the morning. Opening day, we got started off right with a breakfast of eggs and sausage. We were able to do this because it was before first light and we couldn't shoot anything until there was enough sight to see. As we were out scouting, it was kind of tough. We saw a lot of deer in the same area, and as you can see in the video right now, we actually saw moose going around. We did some more scouting, but the weather just wasn't with us, so we finished our day off with a lovely sunset once more and got ready for the second day. We spent the morning into noon on a scouting trip, mostly just glassing, so we would hunker down and just wait to see if an elk or deer would step into a clearing. We saw a couple run across the ridge across in front of me that you can see, but they were all does and being chased by other hunters. Sadly, this was my last day, so we were hoping to make the best of it, and we had some beautiful weather. So this is some footage of us glassing and more on what we did later. After we finished glassing, we went back to camp for lunch. The weather actually got really beautiful, as you can see in this picture, and it was super sunny, so we pretty much enjoyed the weather for a good while. We relaxed and rested up. After we finished lunch, I went out and actually took some photos with my Canon, and I got some pretty decent ones. I didn't bring a very good lens, but then my uncle and I actually went on a hike, and these are paw prints from a wolf that was going through tracks on the same hike that we were on. We probably hiked several miles up and then probably a couple more, definitely a more, across the top. As you can see here, we are right on top, and after we finished that, we went and got back in the truck and actually saw deer on the way back to camp. Sadly, all of these deer were does, so we weren't able to shoot them, but it was still pretty nice to see them, and kind of just goes to show that they come out when you're not there and when it gets dark. So finally, to finish off our trip, I had to go home and actually go to school. So we loaded back in the truck and started driving. I took a time lapse on the way. You can see the weather is definitely different from the first time we came up. Way warmer, way better. And actually, my great uncle and my dad went back up after they dropped me off, and since it was so nice out, the elk and the bucks were actually moving around a lot. So I missed out, but there was a lot of action, and it was a very cool trip no matter what. We actually got stuck in a ditch a couple times, sort of. We got out this last 2 times, but the first one we had to get help, and that was alright. We just got towed by these lovely gentlemen from Michigan, actually. And all in all, it was an awesome trip. Thank you for joining me on it. And I just think that if you ever been hunting, you got to do it. It's just a great adventure, and even if you just like the camping aspect, then that's great too. These are some more photos from where we were hiking around and just when I had time to take pictures. And I just want to say thank you guys and enjoy the rest of the photos.